Welcome to Choice Compass. So Apple's new M4 iPad Pro is here, and man, is it powerful. It's so powerful, it's practically screaming, I can be your laptop. But you've still got the MacBook Air, which has been the king of portable productivity for years. It's making the choice harder than it's ever been. So which one is actually right for you? Let's figure it out. So let's dive right into this. We're putting the latest 13-inch iPad Pro, the one with that beastly M4 chip, head-to-head with the fan favorite, the 13-inch M3 MacBook Air. This is a real battle of titans, and we are going to dissect every single detail to find out which one really deserves a spot in your bag.
Okay, here's how we're going to tackle this whole dilemma. We've broken it down into 4 key rounds. We'll look at portability, then software, then price, and finally, the verdict.
You can just tell what Apple was going for here. I mean, look at this new Magic Keyboard. It's not just a keyboard anymore, it's a statement. It's got that aluminum palm rest, a full function row. They're really trying to make this thing look and feel just like a premium laptop. And honestly, that's what's fueling this entire debate.
All right, let's get into our first round and tackle the biggest assumption people make when they're choosing between these two devices. Let's talk portability.
I mean, it's just common sense, isn't it? A tablet should be lighter than a laptop, no question. But what happens when we make it a fair fight? What happens when you add the one thing you absolutely need to make it a laptop replacement, the keyboard? Okay, so in one corner, you've got the 13-inch M4 iPad Pro, snapped into its slick new Magic Keyboard. And in the other corner, the trusty 13-inch M3 MacBook Air. The tail of the tape here might just surprise you. All right, let's get the scales out. The iPad Pro and Magic Keyboard combo. It comes in at about 1,247 grams. Go ahead and lock that number in your head, 1,247.
And now, what's really wild is the weight of the MacBook Air. You'd expect it to be heavier, right? Well, it weighs in at just 1,240 grams. Wait, what?
Yeah, you heard that right. They're basically the same weight. The MacBook is actually a hair lighter. So that whole idea that the iPod setup is this super lightweight, ultra-portable dream, it's pretty much a myth. The difference is so tiny, you'd never notice it in your bag. Okay, so now that we've completely leveled the playing field on weight, let's get into the real difference maker. The one thing that truly, fundamentally separates these two devices, the operating system. This quote from a user on Apple's own support community just hits the nail on the head. A MacBook can do just about anything an iPad can, but the reverse is definitely not true. And that, right there, illustrates the fundamental gap. iPadOS and macOS are just built for totally different worlds.
So, iPadOS, it really excels with its touch-first design. It just feels so intuitive, right? And if you're an artist or a student who lives and breathes with the Apple Pencil, there is simply no competition. Apps like Procreate are just phenomenal. It's really built for deep, focused work on one thing at a time. But then you have macOS, and this thing is a multitasking monster. It's designed to run the full-fat desktop-class software. We're talking Final Cut Pro, Xcode, the whole shebang. Plus, you get way better file management and proper support for external displays. It's a true workhorse.
And look, for simple stuff, this might not matter. But when you get into complex professional work, that software gap becomes a giant chasm. For instance, we found this story about a CEO trying to build a corporate financial model in Apple's Numbers app on an iPad. You'd think that would be simple, right? Wrong. He found it was literally impossible.
Why? Because of a key missing feature called circular reference resolution. Now, that might sound super technical, but it's a make-or-break tool in desktop spreadsheet apps like Excel. It's absolutely crucial for financial modeling. And because it's just not there in Numbers on the iPad, it forces professionals right back to a Mac or a PC.
Okay, so let's move on to round 3, and this is where things get really interesting. Let's talk about what you actually get for your hard-earned money. It's time for price versus power.
We're going to compare two setups that look pretty similar on paper. A 512GB iPad Pro M4 with its Magic Keyboard going up against a 512GB MacBook Air M3. The results here are, well, they're pretty eye-opening. Okay, get this. For nearly $550 less, the MacBook Air gives you double the RAM. Let that sink in for a second. Double the memory, which is absolutely crucial for multitasking and running demanding apps for way less money. That's a huge deal. All right, it's time to bring it all home.
We've covered a ton of ground, so let's dive into the final comparison to help you make your choice.
So here it is, all laid out. Look at the total cost. The MacBook Air is way, way cheaper. Check out the RAM. You're getting twice as much with the MacBook for that lower price. And then there's app compatibility, full desktop apps versus mobile apps. The only place they're really tied is weight. The numbers here really don't lie.
So, how do you actually decide? It really boils down to 3 simple steps. First, make a list of your must-have, can't-live-without applications. Second, be honest with yourself about your multitasking needs. Are you a 20 tabs open kind of person? And third, compare the total cost for the power you actually need.
Ultimately, the choice isn't about which device is better overall, but which operating philosophy is better for you. Are you paying for a powerful, super-focused machine for specific tasks, or a versatile, all-in-one workhorse? We break down every option A versus option B scenario by comparing practical features against creative solutions. Our mission is to provide clarity, helping you save time and money. Subscribe to Choice Compass and transform every difficult dilemma into a clear, confident choice. See you next time.